Hello riders and not. Today on the vlog is Triumph Bonneville Boba. This is actually a second boba that I borrowed. That one I took from Lynx Motorcycles in Ipswich, because the footage that I filmed with a gold line boba, it was ruined by the wind. Boba is definitely one of my favorite motorcycles ever. I can't really complain because the weather today is perfect. Different from when I had a press bike and I had to ride 100 miles in the rainstorm. I've been riding for quite a long time and I've been riding in different weather conditions. This was painful, guys. I'll not go into detail too much, but on the British classic motorcycle, I did all the good and bad British weather conditions. When I was choosing where the best to show you a Triumph Boba, I thought Cambridge, a beautiful and old, well-known British city, is perfect. I spent a couple hours riding here and could not find a quiet and suitable background to film. But even considering I was already on the bike for 3 hours with a 9 kilograms backpack, I loved it. Triumph Boba has a 1200cc liquid-cooled engine with 76.9 horsepower at 6,100 RPMs and maximum torque of 106 Newton meters at 4,000 RPMs. Agile enough, but not intimidating power, cornering super easy. Just like all the Triumphs, the bike goes right where you want it to. Despite all the riding conditions that Boba is not suitable for or is not made for, I found it comfortable. I didn't get any cramps, wrist pain or bum pain except from an upper back, neck and shoulders, but this is from carrying a heavy filming gear on my shoulders. I am 1 meter tall and I'll pop the inseam on the side somewhere as well. And the bike is from 690 to 700 millimeters seat height. That means it has 10 millimeters travel. I would probably prefer it a little bit more forward because, as you can see, I sit like this and there is a space here left. Somebody taller would probably prefer the seat a little bit more backwards and the forward controls, which is the option on this bike. I like the mids. I like the mids on my Sportster as well. This is my kind of very similar riding position to my Sportster. Drag bars, mid controls, very nice position of the leg in the, like, getting into the tank cuts, as you can see, and also I can reach the ground perfectly, and there will be no problem for somebody who is slightly smaller than me with a slightly shorter inseam. The weight balance of Boba is also very similar to my Sportster. It is low weight balance, and I found this bike extremely easy to push if I have to or duck, and also as slow riding. And that is about it, with similarities with my Harley-Davidson Sportster. I'm not comparing those two bikes because for me different brands and different bikes are kind of uncomparable. They are, but they're not, because as you know, I like my Sportster for very different reasons. But this is a classic bike performing as a modern bike. As I said with Bonneville, exactly the same. You don't expect the bike that looks so classic to perform that well, and that's what Triumph really does really well. Plus, just look at it. is so beautiful. I prefer Boba over Bonneville anytime, definitely. Like this, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more masculine look. That's probably one of my favorite modern classic motorcycle ever. In general, I absolutely love this bike, but as I promised, there are a couple things that I don't like. One of them is not self-canceling indicators. On my bike, they are self-canceling. It probably wouldn't be that much of a problem if you could clearly see that, but when I have cord lock here, and I understand that the bike is not designed to have quad lock on the bars and not thinking about putting anything, your phone or anything extras, with or without quad lock, is not very clear when the indicators are on, and I often ended up riding with the indicator on until I kind of grew the habit of cancelling it constantly just to make sure that they are off. Still, I would love it to be self-cancelling. The other thing that I felt very well doing a few hundred miles on the Boba, carrying all my filming gear on my shoulders, that it does miss the place where you can put your luggage if you go a little bit of touring or you need to go to the places and carry something with you. There is an option for a panniers on the sides, but I'm not a fan of panniers on any bike, to be honest with you. Never had them on my Sportster and never wanted to have, so instead of that I would probably have like a little luggage rack just here, probably similar design to this, just to kind of complement the design of a bike, and that's where I would put my luggage. Also, there is an option for a tank bag, but that is very limited space. Otherwise, you like me would have to carry it on your shoulders. After spending one full day on the bike and some decent miles the next day, I can say the bike is comfortable. I couldn't feel any discomfort in my bum. It didn't hurt at the end, my shoulders did, but that is my problem because I was carrying something heavy. But the bike itself, the design of it, even though the Boba seat doesn't look the most comfortable, and it's not many Bobas that you can ride that many miles and do not get any discomfort in your lower body, let's say that way. I didn't get any cramps, I didn't get any tiredness, I didn't feel any tension anywhere. It's a very good riding position for my height, and I felt just great. If you will be riding a Triumph Boba for the first time, probably like me, you will be not aware of a tank cap. I came to the petrol station to fill up the bike with the rainstorm coming up, so I was in kind of hurry to make it as fast as I can. And I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and nothing was happening. So I thought it must be something that I'm missing here. Something that I haven't been told, some secret. I push this and voila. It opens a keyhole. You get your key, and that's how you open it. has a little Triumph logo in it and smells expensive. And then you can lock it so nobody can steal your expensive fuel. Now guys, I'm going back to Lynx motorcycles and I have a couple questions. The difference between the Bobber and the Bonneville, and also what is the difference between the Gold Line model and the standard Bobber model. I know that the Gold Line is a special edition model that comes out only this year, and the only difference I could feel and see is just visually. As you can see, this one is even the same color. The Gold Line has a hand-painted lines on the tank and also a red back fender, whereas this one has a black and red. Today's weather was perfect for a ride of Bobber. But it was great to try it at the different weather conditions, because if you live in a country like UK, you need to be prepared to ride in the rain. You need to know how the bike performs on the wet. On Triumph, I haven't felt any difference. Apart from being wet through all layers, cold and having difficulty to see, I could trust the bike. Not even once Triumph Bobber made me doubt it will carry me through the storm to the day and the ride like this.
Keep talking good, keep talking sweet, keep sugar on, baby. I got you good, I got you sweet, got you on hold. My baby knows what I'm all about, what I'm all about. My baby knows what I'm all about, what I'm all about. Keep moving fast, keep moving slow, keep rhythm on, baby. You got me good, you got me sweet, got me on hold. Baby knows what I want, baby knows just how I'm feeling now. You got me locking, walking, stalking, rocking, freaking and freewheeling for a while. My baby knows what I'm all about, what I'm all about. My baby knows what I'm all about, what I'm all about.
So my first question is,
Okay.
Visually I can see the difference and
Yep.
everyone can see the difference. What are the differences between the Bobber and the classic Bonneville?
So basically how we use the Bobber is what they call a low cruiser. So that's your classic Bonneville, which is from generations, goes back to the 20s, the 30s. That's your Bonnevilles. And then the Bobber is a descendant. So basically using the same engine, the same setup, obviously the same forks. And then obviously from the back, they've slightly stretched it with the frame. So you've got the nice, sleek, straight through pipes, and then obviously you've got the large rear mudguard, and obviously it's a single seat rather than a dual seat. The reason it looks more squat as well, because obviously they use 16-inch wheels on this opposed to the 17s that the Bonneville has. So again, it gives it that lower feeling and sensation, which when you sit on it feels more like your cruisers.
Yeah.
So, you know, in that kind of segment, you've got your big Harleys, those kind of bikes. This is really more of your modern day classic cruiser. And then obviously, again, to say the Bonneville, the T120 engine is used in this as well. So the 1200 engine from the T120.
Is it exactly the same torque and engine? And
Slightly lesser torque, but only slightly, because it's just geared, it's just more of a lazy cruiser bike. And as you probably experience yourself when you ride it, it's just it's a whole different riding sensation to the Bonneville.
Yep.
The Bonneville, you sit that little bit taller, more of the classic type bike with a bench seat. This is just that all-round low cruiser, and that's what appeals to it. It's the looks. You can customize it with numerous accessories. You can really personalize them, and that's basically what our customers come into. You know, they do the basic colors, and then they do the Gold Line edition, which is the special paint, which you'll see on the tanks has the gold line down the tank, which is hand painted at the factory.
Is that the only difference between
It's basically the special paint.
Edition
So
and
normally it's like a two-tone paint job, and I say it has this unique coach line, 2 coach lines down the tank, which I say is painted by hand.
Yeah.
So it's quite unique.
So the bobber that I saw inside,
Yes.
which is slightly customized,
Yes,
with the
that's
rack
it.
that I was dreaming of when I
Yeah.
was having everything on my back, and I thought the rack would do perfect.
Yes.
And is that official Triumph accessory? or-
It's not as such, but it's a good alternative option. Generally with these you can buy saddlebags.
I don't like them.
So
Me personally,
yeah,
I'm not a fan
yeah,
of
some people
saddlebags,
like
but
them.
Some people do.
You know, if you
yeah.
look at the Rocket, that's got the saddlebags on. Some people like that, but the rack you can get from people like Givey. There's an alternative option for that, so you can mount stuff on the back.
Is
if
it
you wish to.
available at your dealership?
We can normally order it in for the customers, but again, you tend to find that when the customer comes in and buys these bikes, they've already got an idea what they want, because they can go onto the Triumph configurator, and you can build and spec
play,
the bike,
yes,
and then they come in with the picture, with all the accessories, and say, that's the bike I want.
And the last question, what do you sell more, a bobber or Bonneville?
I would say probably slightly the Bonneville, but very slightly. I think the reason is that there tends to be more availability of Bonnevilles than bobbers. So obviously we tend to have more of a choice in the showroom of Bonnevilles, and because you've got the T100s and the T120s, so you've got a bit of a varied choice. You've got the 900cc or the 1200, whereas the bobber, it just comes in one engine variant. So probably on balance, yeah, the Bonneville probably slightly edges it.
Thank you so much for your
It's
time.
a pleasure.
I hope
It's,
to come back to try other bikes
Please
at the
do.
dealership.
Please do. Like I say, always come and see us. We're, you know, we always say to our customers, pop in. If you're passing, come in for a tea and a coffee and a chat. Come have a look at some of the exciting models we got here. Always welcome to come in for a tea and a coffee and have a ride. And like I say, anybody that's in the area, we're open Monday to Saturday. Got plenty of demos, a nice selection of bikes to come and see.
Easy access, pop next door,
Absolutely.
lots of parking.
You've got everything
so
you could want here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, always, doors always open. All
I'll
right.
definitely come back. Thank you so much
Pleasure.
for your time.
It's lovely
Thank
to see you.
Lovely
All right.
to see you.
Take care.
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.